Oh man, were you a student athlete?
Yes, sir, I was.
Yeah, what sport?
Basketball.
Basketball. What was your fondest memory about being a student athlete?
Man, just the preparation. And just the team. Having a good time with my teammates. Just being in the gym, really. I used to love being a gym rat. That was kind of one of my favorite things to do. And just galvanizing my teammates. That was kind of very important to me, and making sure we was always on the same page.
Yeah. What was the thing that you don't miss about being a student athlete?
Ooh, getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning. 6 o'clock in the morning, running, doing this, doing that. That's the part that I hate. I just wanted to go in the gym and have fun. But I tell my kids now, preparing, this stuff matters. That stuff matters mostly, versus running up and down the court. You got to do the other little things to kind of get you to that point to where it's easier when you do play in the game.
A lot of student athletes struggle with their identity outside their sport. It's constantly, first one in the gym, last one to leave. What kind of advice would you give them to kind of develop outside of their sport that's really going to help them once their eligibility has elapsed?
Man, I would say if I obviously had somebody doing that, just remain focused. Even if once your eligibility, goes away or anything like that, always try to find something secondary to do. Whether it's painting, whether it's singing, whether it's, start your own little business. Just something to kind of just keep you going, so you don't always just be dependent on what you're doing now.
All right, 2 more questions, I'll let you go. So what pothole maybe did you fall in as being a student athlete that you want to advise other student athletes to avoid to maximize their time?
If you want to go to the next level, you got to understand that your friends, they're not going to help you get there. They may not be there. That may not be something that you want, but if it's something that they want, but if it's something that you want, you kind of have to figure out what matters to you the most, your friends or you getting this college scholarship.
Gotcha. And last thing, what's some last minute advice you would give student athletes that's really going to maximize their time being a student athlete and also just in life in general?
Man, keep getting an education mostly. Being an athlete is not only being good at sports, but staying in the classroom, being able to do that, that'll help you be an athlete even more. Start with that, and the rest will take care of itself.
Gotcha. Well, I appreciate you, man.
Oh, yes, sir.